What's her status, Danny, in the 150-pound weight class? Is she the GOAT now, or is she slowly approaching whoever you think is the GOAT? To be fair, Joanna, already retired in the Hall of Fame, 5 title defenses, but 0-2 against Zhang Weili. Rose Namajunas, I think she gets talked about as well. 2-0 against the champ, but she didn't have as many title defenses. She only had 2 in her title reigns, we'll say. Your thoughts?
I still have Joanna as the strawweight GOAT. And I have right now Zhang Weili at a second place. I know that Rose Namajunas, people are going to say, well, she beat both. But we're not talking about the best fighter. Again, and this is an argument that a lot of people get confused. If we're talking about the best fighter, yeah, probably Rose has the best case because she fought both and she beat both. But this is the greatest. See who's done more in the division, who's achieved more in terms of title defenses, accolades, records. And for now, that is Joanna Jędrzejczyk. I mean, just the fact that she wasn't able to lose the belt. I know a lot of people say like, oh, 2-time champion and this and that. And a lot of people take pride in that or brag about that in terms of stats. But that means you lost the belt, you know, and you had to come back, which that's an achievement of its own. But that means you weren't able to stay at the top. Yeah, Joanna Jędrzejczyk might have been a one-time champion, but she held the belt for years. So I still have her as a strawweight GOAT, but definitely Zhang Weili is within reach to take that away from her if she continue fighting and defending her belt.
Goes, do you agree?
Yeah, and I don't think she needs to necessarily catch her. She's nipping right at her heels. I feel it's one of those arguments where it feels like nobody's wrong and nobody's right. But title defenses are a big thing, you know, especially when we're talking about GOATs of divisions. I think she's right there, though. I really think she's going to catch her, maybe even with the next fight.
I'll say mine before we go to Mike. I think Zhang Weili's it. I mean, 4 versus 5. Joanna's got her there, but the 2 she beat Joanna. Mike, am I off, or what do you think, man? Got my back?
Yeah, I think I give you the fist bump there. I'm inclined to believe just because, yeah, I mean, you look at what Weili's doing. She's now tied with Joanna for the most overall title fight victories in strawweight history at 6. You know, she's got the head-to-heads, and, you know, to Danny's point there about, like, regaining the belt, Joanna had those opportunities. I think she had 2 chances to regain the title after she lost it initially, and she lost one of those 2 being Weili herself and, you know, that all-time fight at UFC 248. So I think that kind of gives her a little bit of an edge here. The fact that Rose hasn't really been able to recapture that magic, right? Like, she couldn't make that run back to the strawweight title. She's now at a different weight class, losing fights. Joanna is happily retired, you know, sitting there giving Weili props in the locker room before the fight. Like, she is the one here, still keeping it going, still adding to her legacy and her resume. So I think as that continues to go, even if it's the difference is a sliver right now, I think that's going to grow more and more as she continues to do work here. So I put her just a sliver ahead, but it is a very close debate. And you could, I think, make an argument for all 3. But I think the fact that Weili is the one here still doing it, that's going to be big points to her.
I'll give the boys below, Danny or Goes, a chance to retort, or do you give in to the Garbon tag team?
No, I'm still with Jędrzejczyk. Yeah, she had those opportunities, but like I'm saying, her title expanded for a while, and I expanded for a while, and I think you guys do have to be a little bit forgiving on that head-to-head because sometimes those head-to-heads aren't fair. Like,
did you see her head in the one fight when she went 0-2?
She was older. She was part of a different era. It's like saying like, I don't know, what would be a good example? Like,
we'll catching Silva on the tail end of his career, something like that.
Huh? It's like saying like, I don't know, like Volkanovski's greater than Jose Aldo at 45 because he beat him. Well, Aldo was past his prime. There's different eras, right? He's managed to extend that prime, but I think we do have to be a little bit forgiving on those head-to-heads, unless it's like 2 people from the same era, like a Robert Whittaker and Israel Adesanya, where it was like, all right, let's see who's best. Both guys are in their prime. There was a change in guard in that, so I am a little bit forgiving on those defeats. But again, I don't think you're crazy to pick Weili. I do think this is a very close argument, and I'm okay with agreeing to disagree here.